Lauletta now on second. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. They get 6 on the pickup. There is the drive will continue. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Lauletta. Over the middle to Beckham. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 2nd down, here's Lauletta. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down. So
the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To the air yet again, Lauletta. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. Look at the spin. Ballot. And he will score. It's a touchdown. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone. So
they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. Lauletta fresh off the pick 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
This is 3rd and long. Here's Lauletta. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let this one go. Deep left sideline. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Able to avoid him at the 40. Might have needed just one more block as it stands, 37-yard return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Here's Watson, and he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, exactly right. What's really
got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, nice move. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Lauletta looking to throw on 2nd down. And this one's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the first quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the 2nd one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Lucky 56. Here we go now.
Out of the gun, Lauletta. And got his man complete. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Russell Shepard, 76 yards. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that'll make our score 14-7. Rosas now to kick this one away.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the big...
He's got a man, complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A huge play there for Houston. And even 40 yards. Watson making up for some lost time here in season number 2. He's got the Texans on the move with a first down. A first down carry now for Miller. Down right around the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
Target.
Out of the gun, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First catch of the game for Hopkins. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Watson escaping the pressure right. And this will be a touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out come the Giants. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Lauletta on first down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. A handoff to Barkley, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Lauletta. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Fielded just inside the 30. A
tremendous return there, 39 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Here's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one will be accepted. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Smith catches left side. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 30. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 1st and goal, Jonathan Stewart. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Jonathan Stewart, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Giants have got it back to a 1-score game. Rosas good with the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14.
Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out comes Houston. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Here's Watson now on second down. Dancing to his left. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. On first down, it's Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Watson now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. He's going to let this one go deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A gain of 39 that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Derrick Henry, his second touchdown on the season, and the Texans will add on to their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Forced out to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Lauletta. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
Gone. Detroit. Gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Lauletta looking for a first down throw. To Barkley on the check down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
On first down, it's Lauletta. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Finding room at the 30. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Second half begins with a run by Henry. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Goes underneath for Henry. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Reset. Come back.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Texans will extend their lead. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. DJ Reader in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
Lucky 56. Detroit! 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 Detroit!
From the gun on third down, Loretta. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ballgame. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. That is caught inside the 5. A very solid gain of 27. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young...
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Derrick Henry, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And his kick is good. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Corey Coleman, the 40, 30, the 20. Touchdown, Giants. Corey Coleman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
And now out comes Houston. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively.
Richmond!
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had his...
Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, 47 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead. And the lead will grow by one more. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Lauletta on first down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Hot, hot.
On second down, here's Lauletta. He sets to fire deep. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
Hey, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. Right? This is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. New York set to take the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah.
Detroit! Detroit! Hey, we got four. We got four down. Four down. Hey, motion backfield. Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Here's Lauletta now on second. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot! Gone!
On first and 10, Lauletta nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Back now here on EA Sports.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Gone! Detroit!
The shotgun snap to Lauletta. Looking for Shepard deep.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off right around the 43. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Well, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. He's to the 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Derrick Henry, 25 yards. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. From the gun, here's Lauletta. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. This is 3rd and long. Here's Lauletta. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Desperation time on 4th down for Lauletta. He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side able to get a hand in. So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings, the things that you have to do late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Out of the gun, Lauletta. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 23, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, it's Foreman. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Henry. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
Watson now going to run the option right. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Watson now going to run the option right. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.